So, are you ready to become a podcaster on podcast? Download the Anchor app. It's the easiest way to do podcasting and it's also free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's easy. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Good evening, my wonderful and beautiful kings and queens. How are y'all doing? I pray that each of you are having a blessed and safe day. All is well with you. Everything is going great. And even if it's not, you understand my voice. Guess what? You have made it to a brand new day. Evening, night, wherever you are in the world, you have made it. And that right there is a blessing and miracle within itself. And this is your first time tuning into my podcast. My name is Candace E. Brown. I'm a certified life coach, a motivational speaker. I'm also an author as well as a YouTuber. I am also CEO and owner of Sister Coaching. And what I do mindset coaching for women, helping them take their mindsets from rags to riches. So I need for all my beautiful queens out there, every queen out there, I need for y'all to fix your crown. They can be cracked, they can be shattered to 1,000 pieces, they can be even twisted, but I need for you to fix your crown because you have the power to fix it. And there are some of you, I don't know what y'all waiting on, there are some of you have not even picked up your crown. Queen, I need for you to bend down, pick up that crown and walk like the bold queen that you were born to be. Alright, so y'all may say, well, Candace say sounding, upset today. It's just been it's been a day, y'all. Had some family stuff going on today, and it just made me reflect. But what it did was it made me thank God for a renewed mind. Let me tell y'all something. It ain't nothing like a renewed mind. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't nothing like a renewed mind. If your mind ain't renewed, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be able to make it through the storms that you about to go in your life. There are some things and we gonna experience that we gonna go through. And if you ain't got a renewed mind, I'm telling you, you're gonna be knocked off. And it's gonna be hard because as I think back over my life, and I think back at times where I didn't have, that time where I lost my mother and lost my grandmother and lost my aunt, I didn't have a renewed mindset. And it was so hard, y'all. It was so hard. And I did everything in the world. I turned to alcohol. I turned to men. I turned to women. I did some of everything. And I could have been destroyed. If I hadn't made up in my mind and got tired of hurting, I would have been destroyed. I wouldn't have been here on this podcast with y'all. I would have been in that grave. That's where I would have been at 35 years old. I would have been dead if I hadn't made up in my mind. Something about having a renewed mind. So when you go through certain things in life, it might touch you a little bit in the sensitive spots. But because you know what this is and you know who you are, you able to deal with it. You able to deal with it. You able to go into battle with it. You able to labor and just labor for God and tell God all about it, because you know God got your back regardless. Regardless of how things turn out, regardless of what happened, God has you. He said in his word, if God be for you, who can be against you? And I stand on his word. Y'all, I stand on his promises. And we just have to get a renewed mind. But when you go through something, I want to remind somebody, come on here and tell somebody. Even though you may be going through the storm right now, stand a course. I heard it in spirit to stay focused, stay on the course. Don't get knocked off. Don't worry about what's on your left and what's on your right. Just look ahead. Stay the course. Steer the course. Stay on track and keep walking into the promises of the Lord. Because I promise you, if you facing a battle, if you facing something, you better believe. You got to believe. And you better know that your breakthrough, that your blessing, your miracle, it's on the way. It's on the way. And we have to go through some storms in order to get there. It's like you got to have that spirit of excellence. You got to have that Caleb spirit. And say, let us go and possess the land. For we are well able. You got to know that you're well able. Even though you may be dying in your body. Your mind might be troubled. Your heart might be troubled. You got to know you got to stay on course. And you just got to say, look, I know that why this is happening. I know I'm finna get ready to walk into my promised land. I'm finna get ready to walk into my breakthrough, my miracle. Whatever you've been praying and asking God for, it's about to happen. And sometimes when we go through these storms and these hurricanes, it's like Dr. Miles Monroe said on one of his videos. Y'all, I love Dr. Miles Monroe. He said that he loved the hurricanes and the tornadoes because what a hurricane and a tornado come and do, it come and wash away some stuff. It come and tear up and destroy some stuff. But the stuff that it come to do, the stuff don't need to be there no more. And sometimes you might be having a tornado life. Come on, somebody. You might be having a hurricane in your life. But know that God finna replace it with something new and better and permanent. Ooh, Jesus. He finna give you something brand new. Something you've been asking him for. Something you've been praying for. He finna give it to you, but he got to move some stuff out the way so you can get it. He got to have a hurricane to go through your life and just tear up some stuff. But what he uprooting is, he uprooting the stuff that don't need to be there. It's just like when I had experienced Hurricane Michael. And how my house got flooded and the trees were uprooted. But what God was doing, what he was showing, see, I didn't know. I didn't have no relationship with God. I didn't know what God was doing. But God was finna get ready to bless me. And he blessed me. He renewed and he gave me stuff I didn't even deserve. Money came in from everywhere. I was able to get new furniture. I was able to get this. I was able to get that. And he still took care of me even through all that. He still took care of us. Let me tell you something. God is still going to take care of you even in the storm. You just got to trust him. And even though sometimes we want to feel like, Lord, I could have did this. God, I could have did that. Let me tell you something. Do not sit there and talk about what you shoulda, coulda, woulda. Don't worry about that. Because at the end of the day, God is in control. There are some things we don't have control over, y'all. I don't care how you cut it, dice it, slice it. There are some things that we just don't have no control of. We have to leave it in the hands of the Lord. That's why I say you got to have a renewed mind. Your mind got to be renewed in order to make it in the hurricanes and the tornadoes and the storms that may come in your life. You got to have a renewed mind. If you ain't got no renewed mindset, you ain't gonna make it. It's gonna run you slam just foolish. You gonna begin to feel so bad and talk about what you could have did to prevent it. You could have did this and could have did that. Ain't nothing you could have did because it was out of your hands. It was out of your hands. And we want to control stuff all the time. Let me tell you something. We can't control everything. Some things are just uncontrollable. We can't control it. All we can do is place it in God's hand and leave it alone. You got to have a renewed mind in order to make it. And I done learned that, y'all. Today, I thank God for my renewed mind. Because if my mind had been renewed, I wouldn't have been able to I couldn't have dealt with what I had to deal with today. And I know it was God. It wasn't nobody but God. For my mind. Because even though the enemy want to come and say this and say that, but my mind was renewed. Let me tell you something. The words say, whose mind is stayed on God, he will keep your mind in perfect peace. And he kept my mind in peace, y'all. And even though I want to say this and say that, I say, God, just let your will be done. And I trust God. That's why I say, y'all, please get a renewed mind. Get a relationship with God. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. When I think about it, I said, God, I just try to read, but it ain't no reasoning with it. It's just that my mind been renewed. And I spent time with him. And he knew what my day was going to consist of. But he kept me. Woo! He kept me in perfect peace. And he going to keep me in perfect peace each and every day. But you got to have a renewed mind. You got to be, listen, you got to have a total surrenderance. That's true worship. You got to surrender your all. We can't keep running. We can't keep blaming. We can't keep fussing, keep arguing, keep bickering, keep holding on to unforgiveness, being mad with people. We can't keep holding on to that stuff because that stuff will kill you, y'all. It'll kill you. It will take you on out of here. Let that stuff go. Have a renewed mind. Don't be worried about what the world say. Don't worry about how they gonna judge you and what they gonna say about you. Just get yourself together. Get you a renewed mind. Let your mind be in Christ Jesus. Don't let this mind be of the world. Because when you have a worldly mind, sometimes you go through storms. You ain't able to handle it, and the hurricane will knock you right on down. That storm will knock you right on down. And every time you try to get back up, it's just like you can't even get back up. It's just like you can't even move. And you keep trying to get back up, you get knocked right back down. That's because you ain't renewed your mind. You got to renew your mind. Let me tell you something. Stuff, what I'm dealing with right now, I thank God for a renewed mind. I just thank God for a renewed mind. And I know what I'm about to go do. And I know where God is taking me. And I'm just ready, and I'm steering the course. I'm staying on course. I'm going to do what God tell me to do regardless. I don't care. I told God I don't care. I'm still going to do your will. I'm still going to do what you tell me to do. And even though some people would say, oh, you up there doing a podcast after you done had to go and experience that. Yes, I'm going to do a podcast. I might can't get on the camera right now, but I can get on this podcast and y'all can hear my voice. I'm going to still do the work of the Lord. I told God I didn't care. As long as you put strength in my body and you wake me up every day, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. I gave him a promise, y'all. Because he has kept me. He didn't have to keep me here. He could have destroyed me. He still could destroy me when he get ready. He is God Almighty. So yes, I'm going to do what he said because I fear God. The fear of the Lord. Proverbs talk about the fear of the Lord. And I fear him. If I don't do what he tell me to do, I'm going to be in a world of mess. And I can't get in trouble with God. I done did so much to him. Yet and still he kept me here. He kept me here. But I just want to come on here and encourage somebody to get a renewed mindset. Get a renewed mindset, because I'm telling you something. When you get ready to go through trials and tribulations in your life, that renewed mind, that mind that stayed on God, it's going to keep you in perfect peace. You going to want to, let me tell you something. You going to want to go boo-hoo and cry and you can't. And it ain't because you don't care. It's not because you don't have feelings or nothing. It's because your mind is renewed. Your mind renewed. And it ain't because you ain't been around this person and that, this, and that. It's just that your mind is renewed. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm telling you, this right here, it hit me today. But man, this renewed mindset, y'all, please, I urge you. Renew your mind. Renew your mind. And I promise you, it's going to keep you. It's going to help you in the long run. I'm going to let y'all go on tonight. I'm going to get ready to turn in. This has been Candace C. Brown, your certified life coach, your motivational speaker. I will check in with you guys next time.